We don't want someone unattractive in our wealthy family. How could someone like you be with a man like Ethan?" His parents' harsh words cut deeply, their insults echoing in my mind. I felt a surge of anger boiling inside me, not just for myself, but for my family, whom they dared to belittle. "I understand," I said calmly, though my heart was racing. "I'll leave now, but you've insulted both my family and me. Please, never get involved with us again. It would be a waste of time, even if you begged us." Their mocking laughter followed me as I walked away, but I held my head high, determined to rise above their cruelty. My name is Sarah, and I'm a 25-year-old office worker with a story rooted in struggle. Growing up, my family was very poor. We survived on stale bread, fighting off hunger day after day. There were 4 of us: my father, my mother, my sister, and me. My dad's modest salary barely covered the rent, and my mom, too ill to work, couldn't contribute financially. My sister and I often went to bed hungry, our stomachs growling as we dreamed of better days. Despite our hardships, we held on to hope, clinging to the small joys that kept our spirits alive. Everything changed when I discovered the power of education in middle school, thanks to an after-school program that opened my eyes. I learned that the more education you have, the more opportunities you can seize to earn a living. That realization lit a fire in me. I decided then and there to study hard, earn a substantial income, and lift my family out of poverty. "If you study too much, you'll get sick and die," my dad would tease, his voice warm with affection. "If I can't make enough money to help us, I'd rather die," I'd reply cheekily, a playful grin on my face. Unlike most kids my age, I poured my heart into my studies, earning top grades and making my family proud. My dedication paid off. My excellent grades earned me a scholarship to high school, and I continued to work tirelessly, securing a place at a university without the burden of tuition fees. Every perfect score I brought home made my mom's face light up with pride, which fueled my determination to study even harder. After graduating, I landed a job at a prestigious company. At first, the work felt like an exciting new game, a stark contrast to the years I'd spent buried in books. But I quickly learned that effort alone doesn't always guarantee success. Wandering aimlessly wouldn't get me anywhere, so I began strategizing, finding ways to apply my skills effectively in the workplace. My colleagues noticed my drive. "You're incredibly hardworking, Sarah, and you fight for what you love." "I'm proud of you," one of them said, admiration in their voice. "I even want you to teach me your secrets." My dad, though often unreliable, always had a smile that kept us hopeful no matter how tough things got. I initially studied to escape poverty and provide for my family, but over time, I grew to love learning for its own sake. It was like a young athlete dreaming of becoming a baseball star, practicing tirelessly every day. My mom, ever resourceful, never complained about our lack of money. She had learned sewing at fashion school and crafted beautiful clothes, backpacks, and pouches for my sister and me. The kids at school were amazed, often asking where we got such stylish items. Inspired by her, my sister enrolled in fashion school, chasing her own dreams. Even though we were poor, we were happy with what we had. "Is that really true?" someone once asked, curiosity in their eyes. "Yes, it is," I replied with conviction. One day, my sister and I brought home leftover lunch from school to share with our parents, a small act that felt monumental. "That's incredible," my colleagues said when I shared this story at work. My tales of growing up poor became captivating anecdotes, transforming me into an interesting figure among my peers. Unlike school, where I was sometimes teased, at work, people appreciated my stories, and I cherished the strong relationships I built with my colleagues. Life felt vibrant and full of promise. Then came a life-changing moment at a company party for new employees. After the event, I joined some colleagues for drinks. One of them said, "I know people from other departments. I'll invite them." That's when I met Ethan. He was kind, handsome, and far from the arrogant type. I was drawn to him instantly. As the night unfolded, conversations flowed freely. When Ethan stepped away briefly, a colleague took his seat next to me. Upon his return, Ethan, unfazed, sat on my other side, oblivious to how my heart raced. "You're Sarah, right?" he said, his voice warm. I heard you're amazing. You went to both high school and college on scholarships, didn't you? I nodded, blushing. Yes, I'm so grateful for the free tuition. Is that the only reason? He pressed gently. Well, my family didn't have much money, so it was a big help, I admitted. But even though we were poor, we were happy. He smiled, his eyes thoughtful. You have a unique charm, he said earnestly, catching me off guard. I laughed, unsure how to respond, but his sincerity stayed with me. From that moment, Ethan and I grew closer. Whenever we crossed paths at work, we'd chat casually, our conversations easy and warm. He seemed genuinely interested in me, and one day, he asked me out to dinner. Alone with him, he was relaxed, polite, and friendly, making me feel at ease. Our dinners became regular, each one strengthening our bond. Then, one evening, he confessed his feelings for me. I hadn't expected it, but my heart soared with joy. Yes, I said, beaming, and we began dating. Ethan treated me with care, planning thoughtful dates that made me feel cherished. With him, I felt safe, happy, and hopeful for a future together. 3 years later, when he proposed, I was overjoyed and said yes without hesitation. We were engaged, ready to build a life together. Excited about our engagement, we wanted to share the news with our families. Ethan suggested meeting my parents first. They welcomed him warmly, and he even said, "Your parents are like peas in a pot," a quirky phrase that made us laugh. Then it was my turn to meet his parents. As his fiancée, I wanted to make a stellar first impression. I spent hours choosing the perfect outfit, getting my hair styled, and applying my makeup meticulously. My mom and sister gave me their approval, and I felt confident as Ethan and I arrived at his parents' home, a grand, sprawling mansion that stood out in its opulence. I soon learned Ethan's father was the CEO of a major company, and his family was exceptionally wealthy. Ethan, their only son, carried the weight of their prestigious legacy, which explained his polished demeanor. When Ethan rang the doorbell, his mother opened the door. "Ethan, welcome home," she said, then turned to me. "Is she your fiancé? It's nice to finally meet you. I'm Sarah." She gave me a quick, appraising glance before inviting us inside. I didn't expect instant warmth, but I was determined to win her over. She led us to an elegant living room where Ethan's father sat on a plush sofa. "I'm glad you're here. Please take a seat," he said politely, but the air felt tense, like I was being evaluated for a high-stakes role. "I'm Ethan's father. I run a company called 5X, he said, his tone proud. "Sarah, you work at the same company as Ethan, don't you? That means you must be exceptional." Ethan chimed in. "She's the most promising employee there." She was an honor student in both high school and college. I blushed at his praise, but his mother's next words stunned me. "It doesn't matter how smart you are. Your face, you're a little too plain." Ethan and I were floored by her comment. "What are you talking about, Mom?" he demanded, his voice thick with anger. She continued, unfazed. "I'm just telling the truth. You're going to take over your father's company one day, so the woman you marry must be beautiful." Ethan's frustration boiled over. "That's ridiculous. I love her for who she is, not what she looks like. She's not plain at all. Apologize to her." His father, equally harsh, jumped in. "How dare you speak to your parents like that? Can't you see your mother is concerned for you? We don't want an unattractive woman in this family. We won't allow this marriage." "Leave," he said, waving me away. Their words grew crueler. "She's not pretty, but she's smart. She's manipulating you like a con artist," his mother sneered. "How could someone like you be with a man like Ethan? I'd love to see the faces of your parents who raised you to be such a liar. They must be useless." The insult stung, but I refused to let them break me. Filled with righteous anger, I stood tall. "I understand," I said firmly. "I'll leave now, but you've insulted both my family and me. Please, never get involved with us again. It would be a waste, even if you begged us." They laughed mockingly. "Who's going to beg you? You think you're smart? You're just crazy," they taunted. I ignored their rudeness, said, "Sorry to have bothered you," and left their mansion. Ethan followed, apologizing profusely. "I'm so sorry about my parents. They were so rude to you. I'm disappointed in them." He explained that his father had become arrogant at work, clashing with employees, while his mother had always been judgmental. I appreciated his support and clarified, when I said not to get involved with my family, I meant it. I was furious when they insulted you. Ethan nodded. They deserve it. You should give them a piece of your mind. With his encouragement, I devised a plan. I found myself in the CEO's office at my father's company, waiting anxiously. Dad, do you think he'll call soon? I asked. I hope so, he replied. Moments later, the phone rang and my dad put it on speaker. Hello, he said. A frantic voice responded, What happened? You suddenly want to cancel the contract. My dad's tone was firm. It's a shame, but I have a good reason. You insulted my daughter and my family. You're Ethan's father, right? I heard you treated my daughter badly when she visited. The man stammered, Oh my God, Sarah is your daughter? Yes, my dad replied. She's my sweet, precious daughter. Are you calling her ugly? I'm so sorry, I don't know how to apologize. My dad cut him off. You don't have to apologize. I won't accept it. I don't care what you said about me, but I'll never forgive you for insulting my daughter. My company is ending this contract right now. The man pleaded, No, if such a big company pulls out, what will happen to mine? My dad was unmoved. That's not my problem. Live with integrity and stop judging people by their looks. Then he hung up. Thank you, Dad, I said, my voice trembling with emotion. I feel better now. Ethan, standing nearby, reassured me. Don't worry about causing trouble for my father. I'm glad you stood up to him. My dad's journey inspired me. Once an office worker, he pursued his passion for computers after my mom encouraged him to follow his dreams. He built his own computers, taught classes, and started selling to friends. His business grew into a successful IT company, yet he remained humble, a trait I admired and aspired to emulate. Ethan's father, however, faced consequences. When shareholders learned he caused the contract cancellation, he was fired and became unemployed. His mother, unrepentant, continued her ways, but their wealth dwindled, forcing them to sell their mansion. Ethan's father once came to my dad, begging for forgiveness, but my dad stood firm. My daughter told you to never get involved with us, right? He said, turning him away. Ethan, disillusioned by his parents, cut ties with them and married into my family. He now works diligently at my dad's company, hoping to lead it one day. I told him, You don't have to take on this responsibility. Do what you truly want. He smiled and said, What I want is to give you a life where you can keep chasing your dreams. We got married and now live a joyful, fulfilling life together. He's a wonderful husband, and my family adores him. Reflecting on our journey, I realized that focusing too much on wealth and status can change people, but staying true to your heart brings true happiness. I wish Ethan and me a long, happy life together, and I'm grateful for the love and support that surround us. Please feel free to comment below if you liked this. Remember to like and subscribers for more.